Hello indie game fan, I have a number of RPGs mixed with plenty of action and platformers in this video, beginning with Wild Light Darkest Isles, a top-down action roguelite with survival elements where you not only have to fend off monsters, but do have to gather resources and set up camp as well. It sure reminds me of Terraria in some way, and weirds me out that there are Stardew Valley style pickup sound effects, but it sure looks like it has potential. I do love my rhythm games, where a fascinating looking title is God of Rock, one that mixes the note highway with a fighting game and looks pretty awesome. As a fighting game, however, I don't think you're trying to counter your opponent, but rather just have to hit the notes on the beat. But where it gets interesting is that you have to time your special abilities and ultra attacks, where I'm curious about what makes each character different. This video is brought to you by CliCli, a new user-generated content or UGC gaming platform that is completely free to play, where its alpha version just launched on the 10th of September, so do check it out. The hallmark of platforms like this is that there are a whole bunch of games to play, made by developers from all over the globe. Titles range from action-adventure, tower defense, action RPG, turn-based RPGs, battle royales, roguelites, puzzles, and more, with limitless creativity on display from these developers. If you've had enough fun from trying out their games, why not try your hand at making games as well, using their intuitive tools, which does remind me of RTS map editors from days gone by, such as from Warcraft or Starcraft, but obviously much more powerful with the modern tools. If this is of interest, you can join their Discord for direct access to the developers, as well as various community events that you can be a part of, links of which are all in the description below, and once again, thanks to CliCli for sponsoring this video. A not-so-indie title is Trinity Trigger, one that I believe has just released in Japan, with an English language version coming up next year, where it's an action JRPG that looks kind of awesome. It does look like your very classic high fantasy entry with slimes, swords, and magic, with what seems to be the expected save the world kind of plot. However, it does have great art and even companion creatures that transform into your weapons, and also has co-op support, and based on early reviews from Japan, is getting mostly 8s and should be neat. This next title is quite the curiosity since Guns Undarkness comes to us from a Japanese developer, headed up by the composer of the Persona games, which is interesting, but it looks like a project that he really wanted to make, so here we are with the Kickstarter campaign. It is a tactical RPG with stealth elements where you play as a member of a PMC after a devastating nuclear war. It is inspired by Metal Gear and Persona, with a relationship system between characters, as well as plenty of RPG elements like stats and equipment, with a very JRPG looking interface as well. The developer of Fore Score did reach out to me, where this is a multiplayer mini-golf title that looks like fun with friends. It is essentially Ultimate Chicken Horse, but in golf form, where you take turns placing hazards on the course, looking pretty decent, but do note that it is multiplayer only for up to 4 players. We did also get the announcement of Teslagrad 2, the sequel to a puzzle platformer from 2013. So it has been quite a while, and with the release window in 2023, we'll be about 10 years in between entries, which is crazy to think about. I do admire indie developers who find a way to keep making games in the long run. When IP like this showing up again after such a long time is always a welcome surprise, but this title looks very good, so be sure to drop it a wishlist.
Once upon a time, there was a small animal village where everyone lived in peace and harmony. Until the king suddenly disappeared! Now it's up to you to help Peep and his friends find Sir Barrington!
I mentioned People Animal RPG not too long ago when it was first announced, but I thought that it was a little strange with the title since it's not a Paper Mario style RPG, but rather a turn-based traditional roguelike in the vein of the mystery dungeon games.
Strategically to outplay and defeat foes. Meet cute characters and relax with your friends at the campfire.
However, it does look awesome and has plenty of secrets and unlocks, but the animals are very cute indeed. This has already been fully funded on Kickstarter, but do check out the campaign page for stretch goals and rewards.
Equip and upgrade skills suited to a character's role and customize your playstyle. Find stickers that grant passive abilities. If you get lucky, you can even find more powerful holographic ones. Compete against other players in tournament mode to stake your claim on the online leaderboard. Complete various challenges throughout to unlock achievements and secrets. Defeat mean bosses and fight against their stronger counterparts when you start a rewind run. You can even hatch your own dinos!
I've mentioned Worldless in the past, and it recently resurfaced, having signed with publisher and developer CodeSync, where this is one of the most beautiful games that I have seen, despite it having a rather minimalist art style. Most interestingly, it controls like a 2D platformer during exploration, but does zoom into 1v1 turn-based combat, but the upgrade animation for the skill tree looks impressive, and I do wonder about the narrative in this game, which takes place between the physical and astral planes of existence. An impressive looking top-down shooter is Blackout Protocol, one that has you exploring a top-secret research facility where something has gone horribly wrong, with otherworldly horrors and zombies forming the bulk of the enemies. Most interestingly, there is co-op support for up to 3 players, meta progression in between runs, as well as great looking fire, and for more awesome roguelites, watch this video and I will see you after the jump.